What's up with it, family? What's up? Man, I'm gonna get straight to it, man. We finna see what's up with Pooh Shiesty and his white boy, man. Like, you feel me? Apparently somebody got robbed, man. Shiesty wasn't playing that shit and he kicked him out, man. But look, man, if you like these videos, man, and you like to see me make more videos like this, man, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell, man, and do me a big favor and share the post, man. It's free, man. Just that's all you gotta do. Please, just please. Well, let's get straight to the video though.
Picture this. You're the only white boy in one of Memphis's most dangerous gangs. You've proven yourself time and time again. But then you get caught lacking on camera, and Pooh Shiesty himself kicks you out of Chopper Gang. That's exactly what happened to White Grape.
Damn. First off, this white boy putting in his work got robbed. So man, you had to damn, you feel me? How the streets work, fam. You probably damn made these niggas look soft when you got when I then got robbed. Cause you know Pooh Shiesty a hot ass rapper, bro. Like you feel me? Like he popping out there, so you can't be getting caught slipping like that.
And homie, this story is absolutely wild. See, most people think gang loyalty runs deep, but what happens when your skin color makes you expendable? White Grape went from being Choppa Gang's most trusted shooter to getting personally expelled by Pooh Shiesty after one bad day, and what he did next will shock you.
Also known as rapper Pooh Shiesty will remain in jail for now.
We're talking about a dude who felt so disrespected by his own leader that he ended up catching a body just trying to prove he wasn't soft. This ain't
Man, first off, bro, I don't give a fuck who you is. If I don't prove my point to you time after time, I'm not finna do no dick riding, fam. I'm straight out of there, bro. Fuck that money, bro. What? Money, all that, but it ain't all that, man. You up here trying to prove your point to this nigga catching whatever you catching, doing whatever the fuck you doing, and that shit still ain't working. You still trying to put yourself around these type of people, man. You setting yourself up for the failure, bro. You got to be grown enough to know you got to get out of them situations, bro. Like, fuck.
just some
Green.
street.
He fucking green. Deal picker. This shit is dumb. He's one of those dumbass white boys. I just hate to say it. Like he it's just fucking dumb. I'm trying to prove it's dumb. Why? Why fucking do that? It's fucking dumb.
Tail gang. This is about how racial politics work even in the trenches, and how Pooh Shiesty's decision to cut White Grape loose led to deadly consequences. From the robbery video that made Pooh Shiesty react to White Grape's deadly comeback attempt, this whole situation exposes the ugly truth about loyalty in the streets. So if you want to understand how Pooh Shiesty's leadership decision turned a white boy from Memphis into a murder suspect, and why the Choppa Gang leader had to make the hardest choice of his career, you better stick around until the end, because this story
Yeah, man. Stick around to the end, bro. And if you haven't already subscribe, bro. Let's get straight to it, bro. Like I ain't finna do nothing. You feel me?
gets crazier with every detail. Hit the sub and like button and let's get into it.
I'm not a rap, alright? If y'all think this on some rap beat shit or we rapping or going back and forth, I'm through. I retired. I ain't making no more songs.
Before we get into White Grape's story, we gotta understand where Choppa Gang came from and what they're really about. See, Pooh Shiesty didn't just wake up one day and decide to start a gang. This crew was born out of necessity in the dangerous streets of South Memphis. Growing up in the Cane Creek projects, Pooh Shiesty was surrounded by violence from day one. His pops, who went by Mob Boss, was deep in the streets and even founded a record label called Mob Ties Records. But that street life caught up with him quick. He got locked up for being an accessory to murder when Pooh was just a kid. That's the environment that shaped young Pooh Shiesty. When Pooh hit high school at Central High, he started linking up with other young hustlers who were trying to get money by any means necessary. The main homie was Big 30 from Whitehaven, plus cats like Little Hank, Antwop, and a few others. They called themselves Choppa Gang because they stayed strapped with them choppers, and the name just stuck. Now let me break down the main members for y'all. You got Big 30, who's Pooh's right-hand man and was actually the first one to get signed to a major deal with money.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Big 30, man. They hard, bro. Push Ice to Big 30 and them niggas hard, bro. Them niggas, I fuck with them. I fuck with them. They hard, bro. No cap. Them niggas, they hard.
Bag Yo. Then there's Big Scar, who's Pooh's cousin and a founding member of Double
Now, Big Scar and Pooh Shiesty, though, them niggas was like a secret weapon together, bro. Like, them niggas was just making all kinds of crazy shit. Them niggas was going in, bro. Them niggas was going hard, bro. Rest in peace, Scar, man. Real.
Our gang. This dude was strictly in the streets until he randomly blew up off a reaction video. Choppa Gang Hank is locked up right now for attempted murder, allegedly shot up a car and paralyzed somebody in a case of mistaken identity, and Choppa Wop is down for murder and 2 attempts. These ain't no regular street dudes, fam. These are certified killers who built their reputation through violence and fear in Memphis. But here's where it gets interesting. They let a white boy into their circle, and that decision would come back to haunt them.
Man, I ain't gonna. I ain't gonna speak on that. I ain't gonna speak.
To understand Choppa Gang's beef, you gotta understand Memphis street politics. This city is divided by train tracks that literally separate different hoods and gangs. You got North Memphis, South Memphis, and East Memphis, and each side has their own sets that been warring for years. Choppa Gang, being from the South, naturally had problems with crews from the North. The main beef that put them on the map was with EBG. That's the crew that includes E Jizzle and them. This beef goes way back to high school when Pooh Shiesty and E Jizzle went to Central High together, but they were from opposite sides of the tracks. The beef really escalated when Pooh dropped Back in Blood with Lil Durk. On that track, he was talking directly to EBG, saying,
Damn, I didn't even know that. Damn, that nigga went hard on that, but he did all that shit, and then he went and started ripping on your ass, bro. Hey kids, stay out the streets, bro. This shit is not cool, fam. I'm telling y'all, you think that shit cool? You walk to your ass going click click, whip whip. You know where your ass going? FBI, out of here. I'm telling you.
yeah, you know who took that from you? Come get it back in blood. He was referring to a specific incident where Choppa Gang allegedly robbed EBG's spot and took their guns. That line wasn't just rap, it was a real threat.
I'm outside, cuz. I want you to just say what you just said on that status in my face. Come on, just do that. Just do that for me, please. Where you at? Get them on here, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, though. On some real shit, I gotta keep it so 100. I ain't never like you, cuz. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never like your bitch ass.
See, I tried to give you a pass with Shice, cuz.
Whopping 30 trying to get your bitch ass a pass. I never liked you. You know I ain't like you.
EBG responded with their own remix, wearing CGK hoodies. That stands for Choppa Gang Killer. They even got Quando Rondo in the video.
I'm fucking hollering. Now you got Quando the Rondo in this motherfucker, man.
What?
That nigga still like the fuck up. Free Rondo, man. He made some pretty good music too.
To throw shots at Lil Durk. This beef got so real that E Jizzle ended up getting shot 3 times in the arm just days after dropping his diss track. But before the EBG beef, Pooh had problems with Big Boogie from North Memphis. That situation got so heated that Big Boogie's concert in Mississippi got shot up. Over 50 shots fired. 2 people died, including Boogie's friend Jasmine, who was on stage with him. That's the level of violence we're talking about with these Memphis beefs.
Damn. I can't really see that shit.
Now,
bro, y'all kids, that's why I'm telling y'all, stay out the fucking streets. It's not worth it, fam. Just stay out the fucking streets. You can't go nowhere. These niggas shooting. I ain't hear no switch go off though, so that's one good thing, I guess. But shooting in general, that shit is just not cool. Bro. Don't do that shit. Shit's just not cool. Bro.
let's talk about White Grape, real name Kenny. This dude was different from the jump. Growing up white in South Memphis, he had to prove himself every single day just to survive. While other kids his age were worried about homework and video games, White Grape was in the trenches trying to earn respect from dudes who automatically assumed he was soft because of his skin color. White Grape went to Central High School with Pooh Shiesty and the rest of Choppa Gang. Even back
I ain't gonna lie, it's like that in a lot of places. Like that's why it's best. Like if you gonna do some weird shit, you might as well stay with your race, fam. Cause niggas are if you in the black community, they already expecting you to be a ops and snitches and shit. I ain't gonna lie, so yeah, I can kind of see why that shit happened though. You feel me? But you trying to prove your point too much, bro. Like if you can't, if nothing you do is working, why the fuck do you want to stick around, fam? You know what I'm saying?
then, he was known for having girls lined up like a buffet. The dude had serious game. But more importantly, he was willing to put in work when it came to the streets. See, White Grape wasn't just some suburban kid trying to act hard. He was really from the struggle, really about that life. But in Memphis, and especially in the black community, there's this automatic assumption that white boys can't be dangerous. People see the skin color and think soft target instead of recognizing the person underneath. That's exactly what happened.
That's not just in Memphis either, though, bro. That's every fucking where. That's everywhere, fam. That's not just in Memphis. I can't agree with you on that part.
With White Grape. Even though he was putting in work for Chopper Gang, even though he was willing to ride for his homies, a lot of people in the streets didn't take him serious. They saw a white boy and thought he was an easy lick. White Grape eventually got initiated into the Grape Street Crips while still being part of...
I'm telling you, that shit really going on, fam. Like, man, tell me, should I do a story time, bro? I got a story for y'all ass. I'm not lying, bro. Just let me know, bro.
Chopper Gang. The initiation was brutal. They beat the absolute hell out of him and took pictures that went viral all over Memphis. You could see his face all swollen and bloody, but he took it like a soldier. That should have been enough to prove he was really about that life, but apparently it wasn't. Here's where everything went wrong for White Grape. One day, he was out in the streets handling business when some dudes decided to test him. They saw a white boy with a gun and some money and thought it would be an easy robbery. They were dead wrong about the easy part, but they still managed to catch him slipping. According to the streets, these dudes rolled up on White Grape and immediately got physical. One of them pistol whipped him with his own gun, beating him down while the others went through his pockets. They took his strap, his money, everything, but here's the crazy.
And I ain't gonna lie, bro. Didn't they say Shiesty just got robbed or some shit? So, you know what I'm saying? Contradicting. I ain't gonna get into it.
Part. Somebody was recording the whole thing. The video shows White Grape getting completely violated. These dudes weren't just robbing him, they were
Nigga. Look at them nuts. Not today, bro. You need to get the hell out of there. You know, they is using you as a personal punching fucking bag. A personal punching fucking bag. What? Look at your face, man. Hell no. Hell nah, twin. You tripping, twin. You tweaked out, twin.
him.
That's what I be talking about. You white motherfuckers is green. Not all y'all, cause you got some green black people too. But this shit is ridiculous right here, fam.
They knew he was Chopper Gang, they knew he was supposed to be a shooter, and they wanted to embarrass him and his whole crew. They pistol whipped him with his own gun, talking trash the whole time, making...
And that's the thing, if you got two parties going at each other, bro, you can't be outside just like everything peaches and cream, fam. You got to be on point. And I feel like that's what Pooh Shiesty trying to come from. You wasn't on point, fam. You out there slipping, you know, and shit really going on out there like that. That's why I'm calling you green, fam, because like this shit really going on. You popping it like that. You came from the same trenches and you out here making your own boys look bad. They ain't gonna want you around because you making them look soft when niggas just gonna come in from different ways and just try to, you feel me, make y'all look weak. What? Shit ain't cool, bro.
Sure, everyone could see that they just robbed with his own gun, talking trash the whole time, making sure everyone could see that they just robbed one of Pooh Shiesty's soldiers. When that video hit the streets, it spread like wildfire. In Memphis, your reputation is everything. If you get caught lacking like that, especially on camera, it reflects on your whole crew. People started questioning Chopper Gang's credibility. How you gonna have a white boy in your gang who can't even protect himself? How you gonna call yourself killers when your own member getting robbed and beaten with his own gun? The disrespect was unreal.
Damn. Yeah, bro. You can't. Don't be in the streets. If you're not a street dude, if you don't have to be in the streets, please stay out the streets. It's not fucking worth it. It's not worth to be in the fucking streets. This shit just dumb, my nigga. I'm telling you, this shit is dumb. Do your homework. This shit is dumb.
Clowning White Grape, saying he should have never been in the gang in the first place. They were saying Chopper Gang was getting soft, letting anybody join just because they needed numbers. The video was being shared everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, group chats, and every time it got shared, it made Chopper Gang look weaker. When Pooh Shiesty found out about the robbery and saw that video...
Fam, I ain't gonna let you do Pooh Shiesty like that. It's not Pooh Shiesty, nigga. It's Pooh Shiesty Gang. That's what's wrong with you. You know what? Never mind.
He was heated beyond belief. This wasn't just about White Grape getting robbed. This was about the reputation of his entire organization. In the streets, perception is reality. And the perception was that Chopper Gang was weak enough to let their own members get violated on camera. Pooh had to make a decision, and he made it quick. White Grape had to go.
3, 4 in the morning. Look at my phone. Somebody. I pushed something out on me. I said, look at my phone again. He texted me again.
It didn't matter that he had been
Shiesty from the streets for real, bro. You can't be having Shiesty out here looking weak here, bro. He ain't going for that shit, twin. He is not going for this. You know he ain't. Niggas just got the feds too. Niggas still institutionalized. He's not going for that shit, fam.
loyal. It didn't matter that he had put in work before. The fact that he got caught lacking and it was all on video meant he was now a liability to the whole crew. The word
Damn
came
right.
down fast. White Grape was officially kicked out of Choppa Gang. They cut all ties with him, disowned him completely. In their eyes, he had brought shame to the organization, and there was no coming back from that.
Like I was just saying, y'all. You can't. Like I was just fucking saying, bro. Like he made him look weak, fam. Shit just is what it is.
This is how the streets work. Loyalty only goes so far, and when you become a liability, you get cut loose. For White Grape, this had to be devastating. These weren't just his gang members, they were his family. He had risked everything for Choppa Gang, taken beatings, put his life on the line, and now they were throwing him away because he got caught slipping one time. But here's the thing about the streets. Once you're in, you can never really get out. White Grape might have been kicked out of Choppa Gang, but he was still in Memphis, still had to survive, still had to eat. And now he had even more to prove because everyone was looking at him like he was weak. After getting kicked out of Choppa Gang, White Grape had to figure out his next move. He couldn't just disappear. He still had to survive in Memphis, still had to make money, still had to navigate the same dangerous streets that had already shown.
That's fucked up, man. That means now you gotta fend for yourself, and you don't put yourself. You don't pick sides in the beef that you ain't even. You don't pick sides in the beef, and you ain't even with them niggas no more. So your life is just automatically fucked up every time they see you. It's up. So what you gonna do, white boy?
They didn't respect him. So he went back to what he knew, hustling. White Grape started moving drugs again, trying to build up his own operation without the protection of Choppa Gang. This was incredibly dangerous because now he was out there by himself and everyone knew he had been disowned by one of the most feared crews in the city. The streets were watching White Grape closely. Some people felt bad for him, thinking he got a raw deal from Choppa Gang. Others saw him as an easy target now that he didn't have backup. And some were just waiting to see what he would do next. Would he fold under the pressure or would he prove that he was really about that life? White Grape chose to prove himself, but that decision would cost him everything. He was determined to show Memphis that just because he was white didn't mean he was soft. He was tired of people.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. He finna probably go do some psycho killer gangsterish shit. These wiglets. This ain't no niggatry. This is niggatry, but this is wiggatry too.
Assuming he couldn't handle himself, tired of being seen as weak, tired of being disrespected because of his skin color. The irony is that White Grape's biggest problem wasn't his ability to handle himself. It was other people's perceptions of him. He had already proven he could put in work, already shown he was willing to take risks for his crew. But in a city like Memphis, where reputation is everything and racial stereotypes run deep, perception often matters more than reality. White Grape's determination to prove himself would ultimately lead to
Look at his
tragedy.
face.
He was out hustling, trying to rebuild his reputation and his bank account when another group of dudes decided to test him. But this time, White Grape was ready. According to reports, White Grape was in Binghamton trying to make a drug sale when some cats from West Memphis pulled up. They had counterfeit money and were trying to run a game on him. When White Grape realized the money was fake, things got heated real quick. Now, in a normal situation, this might have just been an argument or maybe a fight. But White Grape had something to prove. He had been robbed before, humiliated on camera, kicked out of his gang, and disrespected because of his race. He wasn't about to let it happen again. When these dudes tried to finesse him with fake money, White Grape saw it as another attempt to play him because he was white. In his mind, they were testing him just like the last group did, assuming he...
Man, mental health is real, fam. That shit is real. This man, y'all done traumatized this man low key. Like, y'all done fucked this man head up and threw his ass out to the wolves, man. He done left the pack now. Shit, you know, they kicked him out the pack. Now this man probably finna go do something dumb. I just know it. I just got this feeling.
was an easy mark because of his skin color. But this time, he was ready to show them they were wrong. The situation escalated quickly. White Grape pulled out his gun and started shooting. One of the dudes from West Memphis was killed, and now White Grape was facing murder charges. Just like that, his life was over. He went from being a Choppa gang member to being kicked out to being a murder suspect, all because he felt like he had to prove he wasn't soft. The crazy...
That's what I was just saying, fam. You up here trying to prove your point to some niggas you can't prove your point to. It's like placing yourself around a bunch of people that don't like you and you trying to make them like you. Like, fam, there's so many other artists out there, so many other people out there you could be with. What? And you just chose to stick around, and now you done caught a body, and your life over with. Kids, stay out the streets. Shit dumb. I'm telling you. This shit just fucking dumb.
Part is that this whole situation could have been avoided if people had just respected White Grape from the beginning, if the streets had judged him by his actions instead of his skin color, if Choppa Gang had stood by him after the robbery, if society hadn't made him feel like he constantly had to prove his toughness. Maybe that person would still be alive today. Let's keep it 100 about what really happened here. White Grape's story is ultimately about racism and how it affects everyone, even in the streets. We talk a lot about how white people stereotype black people as dangerous, but we don't talk enough about how black people sometimes stereotype white people as weak. White Grape was constantly dealing with people who assumed he couldn't handle himself because he was white. Even in his own gang, even after proving himself multiple times, there was always this underlying question of whether he was really about that life. And when he got robbed, instead of supporting him like they would have supported a black member, Choppa Gang cut him loose immediately.
I mean, that's to a certain extent. Just the color don't matter, nigga. A nigga could have did. You got to fucking go, nigga. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Think about it. If Big 30 or Big Scar had gotten robbed on camera, would Pooh Shiesty have kicked them out? Probably not. They would have seen it as a temporary setback, something to bounce back from. But because White Grape was white, the robbery was seen as confirmation of what some people already believed, that he didn't belong in that world. This kind of thinking is dangerous for everyone involved. When we make assumptions about people based on their race, we create situations where people feel like they have to overcompensate. White Grape felt like he constantly had to prove he was tough enough, dangerous enough, street enough. That pressure ultimately led...
Why? No. Why do he fucking care so much? That's the real question. Why? Why the fuck do you care what niggas in the streets think of you, fam? Chat, do y'all really fucking care what people think of y'all? Like, just let me know.
him to make
Am I tripping?
a decision that destroyed his life and took someone else's. The streets don't care about your skin color when bullets start flying. A white boy with a gun is just as dangerous as anyone else with a gun, but society's perceptions made White Grape feel like he had to prove that over and over again, and that need to prove himself is what got him in trouble. Today, White Grape is facing murder charges and looking at potentially spending the rest of his life in prison. All because
That's where you're going, folks. That's where you're going. You up here trying to prove your point to somebody that don't got good intentions for yourself. Stay out the streets. Shit is just dumb. Fuck the streets, man. I'm telling you.
he felt like he had to prove he wasn't soft. All because people couldn't see past his skin color to recognize that he was really about that life. Meanwhile, Choppa Gang has moved on without him. Pooh Shiesty is dealing with his own legal troubles, facing federal charges for multiple shootings. Big 30 is locked up on drug charges. The whole crew is basically falling apart, but White Grape's story has been forgotten in all the chaos. The person he killed had a family, had people who loved them, had a life that was cut short because of a drug deal gone wrong. That's the real tragedy here. Not just what happened to White Grape, but what happened to his victim. A life was lost over fake money and wounded pride. This whole situation shows how toxic street culture can be, especially when it's mixed with racial stereotypes and the constant need to prove yourself. White Grape thought he had to kill someone to prove he wasn't weak, but all he really proved was that violence only leads to more violence. White Grape's
And leads to fucking jail and dumbass stupidity. All this dumb. Just dumb.
story is a cautionary tale about a lot of things, about the dangers of street life, about the pressure to prove yourself, about how racial stereotypes can hurt everyone involved, but most importantly, it's a story about how quickly everything can fall apart when you're living that life. One day, White Grape was a respected member of one of Memphis's most feared gangs. The next day, he was getting robbed on camera. A few months later, he was kicked out of the gang, and now he's facing murder charges. That's how fast the streets can turn on you. The saddest part is that none of this had to happen. If people had judged White Grape by his character instead of his skin color, if Choppa Gang had shown more loyalty, if he had walked away from that drug deal instead of trying to prove a point, everyone involved would be better off today. But that's not how the streets work. In that world, perception is everything. Respect is earned through violence, and one mistake can cost you everything. White Grape learned that lesson the hard way, and now he's paying the ultimate price. What do y'all think about this story? Was Choppa Gang wrong for kicking out White Grape? Should he have walked away from that drug deal? Let me know in the comments below.
Yeah, and let me know in the comments below. Do y'all think they was fucking wrong? Y'all think they was right? You know what I'm saying? But that's it, man. Like, if you made it this far in the video, please subscribe, bro. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, bro. Thank you for watching. This your boy Leeko, and I'm out, family. I'm out. Peace.